I'm Chris Meyer. Join me and the Legendary Customs team as we take ordinary rides and craft them into legendary customs. So he wants this to be the blue Ford.
Well, Zach did that on that other Ford truck.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a perfect color. It's not bright, but it's not too creamy either. It's still a white, but it's awesome. That's perfect. Let's go in and see the seats. This is all flat or satin white. Or satin clear, sorry. Oh yeah. That will look awesome next to the
Leather.
leather. That's gonna be awesome. Yep. So Monday, we can take all of this to Matt at Rags, and he can start.
Do you
doing
have
exterior.
do you have the
Color picked out? Yes. Colors picked out. Everything's picked out. So. Awesome.
obviously he can fix this stuff, right?
He's probably gonna take all this out, put it in a piece of plywood, and then just do a foam seat versus the old
Over.
school.
Sure.
Yeah. The thing about satins and flats, what you get is what you get. If you get a piece of dirt in it, you have to start over. You can't just buff it out, sand it and buff it out. Beautiful. Did you see how good of a job he did underneath there? He took all the spaghetti and it makes, now it's all, he still organized it, but.
It's organized spaghetti.
It's before it was a rat's nest, now it's spaghetti, and then it
Well,
was organized.
it's minimal
Yeah.
compared
Yeah,
to
no,
last week. Last week was just giving me a headache looking at it.
No, now it's just waiting on switches to make some final connections and
Which are on the way.
on the way. So, yeah.
Hey, I like your gauges you found.
Don't those look
Those-
sharp?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much better than white.
Those look classy in there. We're gonna go with that when we have. So that'll be dome light and interior light. Look at that.
Holy shit! You're like a different person.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I don't know.
You're just tired of it?
It was time for it.
Yeah. Wow. Looks good.
Yeah.
You gotta feel different though.
Yeah. Yeah, first thing, right back. Well, even inside, it's like I was feeling like a breeze.
Right? That's funny. Oh, shit. Doors are finally done, huh?
Yeah, just
Clear?
about ready to clear coat them.
Nice. That was more of a process than you thought it was going to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, they needed some work still. And it was like pinholes and like the door jambs and stuff weren't really finished. And
Right. And those hinges looked like they were a bitch.
yeah.
Clear coat. Coat number 1.
There was so much work that was videoed to get to this point, but I want to bring it to here's where we are today. All right, wiring. It is the most thankless job on the face of this earth. You take this big ball of wires, yes, it comes all organized, and then you have to make it a mess and then reorganize it where it goes in each vehicle. Now, you're gonna see a little bit of that in the video, but I wanna show you one thing that we decided to go with. We decided to go with the Holley Terminator Max series. It replaces the standard computer that was used on this 2000 Ford Crown Victoria. It is so much more flexible. We're gonna be able to squeeze more horsepower out of this without going deep diving into the computer because it's set up to be changed around. It does communicate with the transmission and the motor. It replaces the stock ECU, so that's all gone. We're gonna have DCA put a tune in this to make everything efficient. When we were doing this, we decided to put a new alternator on here. There was nothing wrong with the old one, but 80 bucks, why not? And a new AC compressor, 150 bucks. There's nothing wrong with it. However, this vehicle is 24 years old. Now is the time to update things. So we did. We updated this entire steering mechanism to fit the perfect 1952 Ford, old school to new school. This much of the shaft is original. We had to attach it with the hind joint to the Ford Crown Vic frame because the original mounting point is gone with the Crown Vic body. Hooked it up with the custom steering column that we put in here. Totally tested the brake booster, everything's perfect there. We are using the stock Crown Victoria brake system on this. Now, gauges, they're just like the wheels, they're jewelry. I looked for hours and hours and hours and hours for the correct gauges. And when I found these purely by accident, I knew right then and there, like that, these were the gauges. These are from Omega Custom Instruments. They are fully programmable. You can set it up to run off the GPS or the sensor on the transmission, the pulse sensor. The lighting isn't that great, but when I saw the blue-gray color on these and all of the features that these provide, and then I looked at the reviews on these, they just were the ones. You've seen us use Dolphin gauges many, many times, and Dolphin gauges are a great product. There's nothing wrong with them. But they didn't have this diameter. You had to put a reducer ring in, which was a nice brushed nickel all the way around, or polished, whichever one you want, polished aluminum. But it just made the gauges smaller. I wanted to keep it the factory size, and when I saw this color again, I just knew these were the ones. And now that they're installed next to the blue, perfect. They are awesome. I want to show you another thing. On this bad boy, we are mounting the battery in the back. So on the firewall under the hood, we will have a negative and a positive termination point mounted underneath there. So if this ever needs to be jumped, you don't have to take the back apart to get to the battery. You got the points up front. All of the system we want to modernize. So we want the old school look, but we want people to see it coming down the road. So we're getting rid of the old school light bulbs and we're updating everything to an LED. So amber front marking lights, amber front LEDs, rear red lights for the brakes, rear LEDs in red, the reverse lights, really bright LED reverse lights. Now, if you're gonna do this, replace the blinker solenoid with one that's compatible with LEDs. Otherwise, you're gonna get the fast blink. It's $9, no big deal. Just do it. Headlights, LED, they look old school, but they're gonna be so much, they cast so much more light. It's just awesome. Now everything is in the wire loom. Everything is to its final destination. AC, lights, everything is organized. So it went from a big boom to neat and tidy. Let's go in the back. I want to show you something. Remember how I told you that we put the battery inside? Okay, we're using an Optima battery. Why? On the inside of the vehicle, you never want to put a vented battery in there. It's just not safe. You see guys do it all the time. Don't do it. Put a sealed Optima battery in there. These are very flexible. You got two front ports to run accessories off of, and then you have your normal terminals that will run the motor and such, and ground the unit. Back here, that terrible kaboom wire harness, everything's neat and tidy. You got your runoffs for your sending unit, tells you how full the fuel is. You have your runoffs to run the fuel pump. It's just neat and tidy. These are the reverse lights. You remember when we first got this, these were way up here, out of place. We moved them down here, LED lights. Now, I gotta slow down and I gotta tell you about those reproduction parts. Those tail lights, this is Legendary Kustom's 11th year. And when you get reproduction parts, you get the gamut of things, just all over the place. And for COVID, 2019 late, all the way through 2022, somewhere in there, when you got a part in, it just was not what you expected. You had to make it fit. You had to fight with it. You had to alter it. You just had to do so many things. I don't even know the company's name for these. I can't even remember where I bought them. They were $164. I did buy them off of eBay, but I can't tell you who I bought them from. But even down to the lenses being glass. This is a perfect reproduction of the 1952 Ford F1 tail lights. Out of all the pieces that I've purchased over the years, not a lot of them stand out. This is one of them that does. Beautiful. These were the originals. Cleaned them up, tucked in the rear bumper like we always do. Fuel cell right where it needs to be. Now, I don't want this place to be dark, so we have mood lights. Yes, mood lights. LED lights, soft white, 3 down each side. These will be totally switched different than when you first get into the vehicle. So you can have these on going down the road if you wish. But this brings you to where we are today. There is so much more color sanding and polishing and buffing to do to bring this to a complete finished product. Keep watching We have to mount the doors, mount the front clip, all of that. The interior is coming along. We're putting 2 big panels on each side. Those are going to be in a light cream. But so much more to come. Keep watching and you will see it come together to its ending. Thank you from the legendary Kustoms team in La Crosse, Wisconsin. We want you to keep watching. Till the next one, we're out of here.